Hello, my friends, and welcome back to New Dalancia, our Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition campaign. I am your host and gracious DM, VGpunx, and with me are our players. Minus Rec today. Rec had some stuff. So before we do anything today, I have a huge announcement. This is something that I've worked on very hard all week, and I'd like to present it for you now, live on Twitch, right in front of everyone. Oh, I hope you all like it. But if I could have every player, if I could have every pony, please turn your attention to Twitch, turn up the volume, and let me know when you're ready, and I'll get this thing going. Let me know when your
Okay.
volume's up.
Mine's up.
Awesome, awesome.
Ready here.
Remy?
Yep.
All right. Here we go. So without further ado, this will be the new intro sequence for the campaign. Here we go. And we're back. I hope you all enjoyed that. You can turn the volume down now.
Oh my god, I love it. That was truly amazing. I love it.
Yeah, that was so cool.
Thank you, thank you.
That was really cool.
Awesome, awesome. I'm glad you liked it. I worked really hard on it for the past week and just tried to get everything perfect, music and all of that. But there it is. That's the new intro. That will be on every subsequent episode, and I'll at least until I come up with something better or can refine it further. But yeah, just trying to make one change at a time. Oh, thank you
It's
so
amazing.
much.
I love it.
I'm glad you like it. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on with the story. Who remembers what happened last time? Not even sure I do. No, I do. I actually have it here in my journal. Let me just go ahead and pull that up. So we were just closing out day 5 of having been at Shopabin. Can you believe it's only been 5 days since you originally arrived in Shopabin City?
It feels like it's been months.
It does. We've had days spanned out over multiple sessions, which obviously span out over multiple weeks, but yeah.
It's been 84 years.
It's been 84 years. So what we've had in the last session, we opened with Talanith and Ianfyr teamed up and questioning this instructor, this professor, who they had approached in the after they snuck into the Institute of Thaumaturgy. You got some information out of them about this red-robed wizard figure who had arrived at the university and seems to have drawn the attention of multiple of the students, and as a result, according to this professor, his attendance has suffered as a result. in trying to track down this red-robed figure, well, there's kind of two parts to this. The rest of the party had spoke with Professor Torzalan, who, if Ianfyr, if you remember, this was the professor when you were originally applying to the Institute of Thaumaturgy, had asked you to cast, I believe it was a fireball or something like that, and you accidentally turned him into a rodent. He denied your entry into the institute, and but now you've had to appeal to him and the rest of the council, the institute council, for assistance, for aid, dealing with the threat of the False Hydra. He was able to find at least a temporary means to subvert the magic, or to kind of subdue the strange charm effect that the False Hydra's wailing has on you folks, by erecting an anti-magic barrier, inside of which he demonstrated that it works, and he also mentioned that the council will be working on a more permanent fixture, so that you guys could fight alongside the nobility, the Hydra. You also heard back from Darkul on your way back to the What Ails Ya Tavern, that the castle, the nobility, has expressly denied that you should have any involvement with the Hydra, and that they would do what is necessary to quell the threat without your help. At that, you went back to the What Ails Ya Tavern. Tess, I believe you found the bartender there, who you and Ianfyr had found the bartender there, kind of beside himself with grief, grieving this partner that he can no longer remember, but has all of the personal effects of, and just has these vague, fragmented memories of. And that's where we left off. At this point, you've all had a long rest, probably made it back to your rooms at that point, and I think that brings us up to present, yeah? Everything okay?
I'm working with my note program. Yeah, it's a little frustrating sometimes.
I think Tess stole his pictures, right?
That's right.
She pocketed some pictures of him, Kolvar, and his wife, Thrail.
Thrail.
That's what I said.
That's creepy. Why would you do that?
This will be a tool that we can use later.
For the same reason that she would sniff at the wet spot on the where he was crying, and trying to determine if that was actually crying or something else.
Thank you, Psychon. I was trying to not remember that part.
Leave it to Psychon.
Leave it to Psychon. That's going to be a segment now. We're going to have like a Leave It to Psychon segment. All right, let me get some appropriate music, and we'll cut back to the scene. Wait, maybe I need to actually... We'll say this is probably right. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I know we just took a long rest, so I was going through my spells to see if there was anything I wanted to change up. I have 2 animal friendships. One of them says legacy. What's that about?
I think that has to do with the cutover from the old 5th edition book over to the new 2024 Player's Handbook.
Okay.
What I would do is get rid of the legacy one and just use the new one. Are you looking at this in D&D Beyond, or are you looking at this?
No, this is in Foundry.
Okay, we can do this in Foundry for now. Just eliminate the legacy one, and you can pick whatever other spell you want to take.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. It's been really weird with the cutover from.
No, I just had never seen that before. I was like, what the heck?
So,
so they. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I was looking at the thing for the party in Foundry, and so it shows for it looks like they've done a change to the so we can each see like all the party members, but like while there's an aggregate of 454 hit points, I see mine as the lowest bar of hit points because of. I was just like, oh yeah, that's right. I'm kind of like more wizardry in terms of like.
You were the
tiny hit points.
squishy. Actually, Talanith is the most squishy, it seems like. 53 hit points. You have 62.
Well, no, but I think it's because of the total is the maximum is 62 apparently, but I don't know. I only see it from my end. That's why I was just saying.
Well, that's
like I
interesting.
see everyone. For me, it seems like everyone else has a higher health bar than I do.
Oh, I think that's because you can't see their health totals and stuff. I think that you can only
Yeah.
see your health total. Okay, yeah, that's just how I have things marked in there, permissions-wise. It's kind of weird. I don't know. This is like Wild West territory, so.
I was just like, it looks interesting, but it kind of looks a little scary. Because like, oh no, am I like the one with the least health? But all right, that's cool.
No, it all accumulates to a 100% total for each of y'all. So, okay, let's see here. So you probably have all made it back to your rooms at this point. Had a long rest. Woke up. Probably made your way back to the bar, perhaps. Is that what y'all think? What y'all feel like you would do? What would you be doing at this point?
I think Talanis would just be walking the hall, just looking out.
What time of day we're talking about right now?
Early morning.
Okay, well, Yolanthe would have definitely turned into wolf form and snuggled up somewhere, and then, like Talana said, just kind of wandering around, kind of patrolling.
Okay, let me.
Sorry, Wolf Lanthe.
Wolf Lanthe. Oh wait, that's Dire
Both
Wolf
of us
Lanthe.
on
Whoops.
high alert.
Sometimes it's hard for me to tell
Oh,
between Wolf Lanthe and Dire Wolf Lanthe.
yeah, Wolf Lanthe is just chill Lanthe. Dire Wolf Lanthe is Angie Lanthe.
Angie Lanthe. There we go. Are you going with Talanith? Kind of.
I imagine there was probably like we both maybe left our rooms at the same time, or like kind of like cross paths in the hallway, and then just kind of like teamed up from there, like without really saying anything. Like Yolanthe's like, you don't have to tell me. I know what's up.
Okay. Let's see, I'm just kind of putting everybody's characters in place here. Hey. There he is. All right, there we go. And sorry about that. Just getting everything situated. One moment, please. And I have everybody, yes? Okay, let me go ahead and cut over to the What Ails Ya Tavern. All right, I see everybody's come over. You should find your characters in various rooms in the left wing here.
Tess
Oh.
is, as usual, oversleeping. I think I neglected to say that.
Got to move a couple of the characters over. If you roam about the halls early in the morning, everybody is, for the most part, either just waking up or still fast asleep, as Tess has so eloquently put it. Sleeping in.
Yeah, just looking around. Sneaking.
Go ahead and roll a perception check for me, if you would. You as well, Ianfyr, if you please. This will be hearing based. So, Ianfyr, you can go ahead and roll this with advantage. Not that you need to. That was a 19. Jesus. And an 18. Very nice.
Nice.
And yeah, the 19 beats the 14. I should say the 30 beats the 25. This is a lot, man. A very good perception. Well, you'll both do. So you both from...
Delanith, what is your perception modifier?
It's +9.
Oh, okay. That's neat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see.
Mine's 11, so.
Dang.
Dang, is
Dang.
that
Competition here.
I'm sorry, I couldn't
That was a
resist. I was like,
competition.
Holy fuck! We just
Throwing the
she
shade.
pulling,
Oh,
out,
mine's
she
a-
pulling out the measurements straight up like
that was not.
Mine's an 11. Ooh.
That was not as. That was definitely Yolanthe, the like snotty teenager, taking over a little bit.
Dark Druid. So from the room here, you hear a sort of stirring. It sounds like there's like a snoring, but also sort of like a well, it's like a stirring. It's like unsettling sort of sounds that you hear. So a little bit of mumbling in there, a little bit of maybe crying, not sure.
Delanith pulls out his daggers.
Yolanthe starts growling a little bit.
Okay.
Oh, the music with that. So creepy.
What will you do now?
Walk towards the sound, of course.
That's going to be coming from the door here.
Oh, I need to get back to the map.
Are you trying to stealth?
Okay,
Are you trying to, what are you?
I am. I don't know
Yes.
what he's doing, but I am like sneak towards the door
Okay.
on
go
my
ahead.
little
Same.
door pad feet.
If you could both roll me a
Sorry,
stealth check,
which
please.
door is it again? I'm sorry. Can you ping?
It is this door right here.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
just to the north of you. It's like the next door to the left, moving up the hallway. So not the first door that Delanith is standing next to, but the next. We have a crit.
Okay.
Yolanthe, thank you.
Oh my god. Okay, so
Delanith like turns around to be like,
stealth.
Yolanthe, where'd you go?
Oh shit.
Yolanthe's gone. And a 2.
Oh. Well then.
No, but that's still good.
Well then. It,
I mean,
it's
we're-
still good.
We're sneaking up on someone snoring. How much stealth could we really need?
That's true. Yolanthe, you move into the bedroom. You're actually able to immediately identify the source of the noises coming from Yestis here in the corner. He
Okay.
seems to be stirring very... he seems to be stirring quite a lot in his sleep. He has like kind of a leg hanging off one side of the bed, and it's just like...
Oh.
Gross.
Delanith, you enter afterward. And as soon as you do, Ianfyr, you hear him come in. So Ianfyr stirs awake. Ianfyr? There he is.
Okay. Morning. What?
What?
Seems
I haven't
to
even
be
had my
going
coffee
on.
yet.
Delanith just looks around and says, "We heard something suspicious."
Are you trying to be quiet about it, or are you just like saying it out loud at this point?
Yeah, just very, very low.
Okay, very, very low. Yes, this continues to kind of toss and turn on the bed. You see like sweat. Iolantha, you see sweat has like beaded it on his forehead, and he's kind of laying in a puddle of his own sweat. It's probably cold.
I mean, I'm no expert at these things, but yeah, it kind of looks like he's. I'm gonna slowly get up and say, kind of looks like a little bit of troubling sleep.
Darkcool kind of looks up from the from his bed as well, having woken up, and everything all right then. He looks
Not
over at
entirely
Yestis,
sure.
who's still kind of turning about.
Talanith kind of drops his guard, and because this looks completely normal, he puts his daggers away. And he just,
Iolantha, what have you got?
Yolanthe is currently
Oh.
working it right
yeah,
now.
Yolanthe dropped.
Oh no.
Although to be fair, this would be Wolflanthe, so it's probably more than likely trying to like just trying to sniff out what kind of emotions you could perceive.
Anybody else? Any actions here?
I mean, I'm slowly getting up out of bed, so I imagine it's going to be finding some non-bed clothes to get dressed into.
Ianfyr's walking around in like PJs and one of those hats with like the little ball at the end.
Oh, it's got the little fuzzy ball at the end. He's
Yep.
like a sleepy cat, like sleepy cap Snorlax.
Yep.
Ianfyr.
EP fear.
Talanith is going to step outside and back into the hall.
Yeah, I
And he's
imagine
just
we
going to
don't-
kind of,
I was gonna say, I imagine we don't want to see if Darkcool is one of the types that actually sleeps with clothes or not.
I'm just waiting to see who has the teddy bear.
Darkcool has a teddy bear.
Oh, Darkcool's my new son.
Just don't check the teddy bear for wet spots.
You mean sniff the teddy bear for wet spots?
Yeah.
It has a hole in it.
Oh no,
Oh, no.
what's this glove doing in here?
are those tears?
Are those tears? Is this tears?
Is this tears?
Are these tears? You were all degenerates, you know that? You all take a -1 for being a degenerate.
No.
Hey, you chose us as players for
I
your
did.
campaign. I'm
I
just
did.
reminding you.
Handpicked. Like a booger. Like a bunch of boogers.
Just remember, you can pick your
Man.
friends, you can pick your players, but you can't pick your player's nose.
I was feeling like a fine fruit there for a moment when he was like hand-picked. I was like, yes, like the most juiciest of citrusy oranges. But no, boogers.
Boogers.
Let's go ahead and default
You're all-
to boogers. That's
You're all
cool.
boogers. You're all boogers. Okay, my little boogers. So, marking that. Yeah, Darkcool gets up out of bed, kind of brushes off the sweat that probably, I feel like everybody sweats in bed. Is that just a Texas thing? Am I just making that up? I don't know.
Oh no, there are people with all kinds of sweating problems. It's not just a Texas thing. You could live in very, very cold climates and still sweat. I see all of you, because that's me. It could be 63 degrees. I'll still sweat.
Talanith, from the north, Valphalin appears in the hallway, already fully clad in armor, carrying his greatsword on his back. Just finishing up strapping everything down, looks up at you.
Ah, my friend. Good morning.
There's something suspicious. I don't know what, but I can feel it.
Suspicious? How do you mean?
We heard some noises, some very bizarre noises.
Do tell. What kind of noises?
Talanith just shrugs it off. It's probably nothing.
Well, suspicious, but probably nothing. I trust you, at any rate.
Yeah, it seems we're still missing Yolanthe. Let me cut to BRB real quick, and we'll see if we can handle that real quick. We'll be right back. That was a really cool song, but we are back. Oh, yeah, I should restart the music. Maybe only one song this time, not two of them. I didn't realize... Sometimes I don't realize that two of them are playing at the same time, so it's like, damn. But, okay. Here we are. So, where we left off, I was actually going to say, Yolanthe, you have snuck up to the end of this bed. Yestis is tossing and turning. What do you do?
So earlier you said the moaning was like unsettling, right? Like, did it sound like he was possessed or something?
He is quite clearly having a nightmare.
I bite him on the leg.
Bite him on the leg?
Yes.
Go ahead and roll an attack.
I don't want to like kill him.
No, you're not trying to kill him. But go ahead and roll an attack.
Okay.
This is for the Aum.
It's been a while since I've attacked as Wolflanthe. What is the... Hold on.
If you go into your inventory, I know that's kind of weird. You'll have one thing and it says bite.
It does. Oh my goodness. That's so funny.
Look in your wolf backpack to see if you
My
have
wolf
bite.
backpack. What do I have packing? It's bite.
Real quick question: were you meaning to bite, or were you meaning to like nip?
Yeah, okay, so let me rephrase that, I guess. Like, not like...
There's a difference.
I don't want to, like, gnaw off the man's leg while he's in the middle of something.
Like,
I just want to wake him up with a little, like, nip to the hip or whatever.
Because sometimes when my dog's trying to get my attention, when he wants butt scratches or whatever, he doesn't full-on bite me, but he does nip me sometimes.
He does nip.
So
He
would
nipped
that
me a
Okay.
couple of times.
So would that be bite at disadvantage? Is that
Oh,
a
yeah,
nip?
can we do that?
Nope.
Oh,
What we're doing is you have an
I'm a
intention
wolf.
here.
I got
This
sharp
is
ass.
this is what in second edition we would call a called shot. This is what I'm trying to accomplish. In this case, you know how usually you could possibly roll a 1 and fail it, or you could roll a crit and like do the thing that you want to do exactly. In this case, you can roll an accidental crit, and let's see what happens.
And bite his dick off.
No, you rolled a 16. It's a 22. You
Well, like,
accomplished.
counterpoint, if my aim is to just, like, wake the dude up with a quick little, like, nip, and I roll real high, wouldn't that be, like, I did exactly what I wanted to do? Or
Exactly my point.
Okay,
Except
okay.
if you accidentally critted it, you might bite just a little bit too hard and maybe do a little bit of damage. But in this case, because you're not
And
trying
now
to
he-
kill the guy. But in this case, you rolled a
I do a
22.
chomp.
You do a chomp right on his leg. You don't draw any blood, anything like that. But he snaps awake.
And then I wag my tail and I hop up and lick him on the face so that no hard feelings, you know?
Get off me!
Slurp, 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 slurp.
That's exactly the sound that gets made. This little halfling beneath your giant, massive wolf figure is unable to struggle against the kisses.
Okay, when I go to work in the morning, a lot of times I'll burst in the door being like, "Good morning," all obnoxiously. And this is the wolf version of
This is the wolf version of that. So he snaps awake. He kind of crawls out from underneath you and sits up against the back of the bed, looks around and sees everybody kind of gathered around him looking. He's like, "Oh, was I being loud?"
Bark.
When did we get a dog?
The bark sent me.
Bark. Bark, bark, bark. Woof, woof.
Sorry, I wish this was like Scooby-Doo where I could actually talk, but like in ours, but I can't. So I just go bark.
You got to emote.
Yeah,
You got to emote at him.
Talanith pops in and he says, "You appear to be having some nightmares."
Oh, that I was.
Talanith raises an eyebrow.
Let's see. All I can remember from it is this like it was like the saddest song. It's like a marching, sad tune. But I was trying to figure out where it was coming from, and when I finally found the source of it, it was this face. And it was all white, pale eyes like voids, wet, dripping, and then there were millions of them, all just screaming in unison this sad song. Oh, thank you for waking me up from it. Oh.
Bark.
What the fuck? My coat. He kind of slides himself out of bed, reaches over to the right, grabs his coat, hangs it over his shoulders again. Kind of dusts himself off, and then he reaches into a breast pocket where he pulls out not only... Actually, let me get everybody to roll a perception check real quick, please.
Hey, guess
Everybody
what room
present.
you walked into?
What room is that?
The wrong room.
The wrong room. Bark. Bark.
You did say perception, right? I
But
didn't
is
just
it-
brag
yeah.
for nothing, right?
Yeah, perception.
Is this a hearing-based perception?
This is a sight-based perception. Not that it matters.
It literally doesn't matter.
I think that's all. That's all that's present. So, Talanith, you notice that when he pulls out what appears to be a flask from his jacket pocket, there seems to be some piece of paper, perhaps. And he looks down at it, immediately takes the thing, tucks it back into his pocket, and takes a swig of the flask.
Ooh, I wish I could read. Or talk.
Didn't seem like it had writing on it. Or actually, no, it did seem like it had writing
Wait,
on it. But yeah, you
sorry,
can't
he
read.
took a scrap of paper out of the flask, or...
Looked like it was a scrap of paper that he pulled out of his pocket that was like kind of with the flask, and then having realized that he did it, he like stuffed it back into his pocket really quick.
Interesting.
Alanith looks at him and says, "Little morning drink, huh?"
Want some? He offers the flask to you.
Breakfast shots. Real quick, can you remind me what his nightmare was about?
So he had a nightmare that he was hearing like this sort of sad marching kind of sound, kind of music. And he was like
Okay.
looking frantically to figure out where it was coming from. And when he found the source of it, it was a pale white face, eyes, voids, dripping.
A single face?
At first, and then
And then
there were
it's a wolf.
suddenly thousands of faces, all with these
But-
same faces.
But there was a song. that
Oh
he
god, it's
heard.
Freddy Krueger.
Mm-hmm. It was
Okay,
a song that he heard.
thank you.
Oh, I picked the wrong form to be in for this. I want to... now...
You woke
that's
him up.
shitty.
I think you picked the right form for it.
Well, what I want to do is ask a question, but now I'm like, I can't do that as a fucking dog, so...
So revert your form. You're a druid. You can do that at will. And in my world, you don't have limited uses of it per day.
Well... Yeah, alright, okay. Let me sit back on my little wolf haunches, close my eyes, and then open them up, and there I am. I forgot. It's actually legit been kind of a while since I did the whole, like, bam, 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 bam magic thing, and I don't remember how I usually do it. I know there was a whole thing.
It's okay. So you tilt your head back, and for the rest of you who are all present, you hear sort of the melancholy tone of a wolf's howl as fur starts to creep back along the back of this wolf, exposing a form not wolven, but not quite humanoid. And this wolf stands up on its hind legs, knees buckling as they stand up straight into the figure of a humanoid. A cloak bursts out from what remains of the fur, covering the form of this humanoid as they stand up on two legs, brushing their eye, scarred. Standing before you is a Eladrin elf. Leaves kind of pouring from or leaves kind of intertwined like vines in the hair, and the fall figure with earthen tones of a elf stands before you. Once more, that's you.
It's me.
Did I do it justice? Was that good? I feel like I did
Yeah,
good.
that was pretty good. I do want to do a quick thing real quick. I do not see on Foundry where to roll just random, like, dice.
Random dice.
Yeah, just like a d20.
Oh, in chat, just type /roll space 1d20, and then press enter. So in the chat, yeah. There you go. Oh, it zooms in on you. Whoa. Oh, you've got a. Did you type a slash in front of it?
Slash in front of one.
The roll. So it'll be like /roll. If I type it with a space, it'll look like that. Oh, it doesn't let me do that either. There we go.
Okay, cool. So Yelanthi's fine. She turns over to Yestus, kind of wild-eyed for a second. Then she kind of shakes her head, gains her composure, and sits up, just like, you know, kind of in a slouchy position, like I was here the whole time, like kind of way.
Mhm.
And then she's like, "A nightmare. You said you heard a song. Was it the same song the barkeep was talking about?"
No, it was different. It's like a funeral march. It was but it was like,
What is a funeral?
well, for a lot of religions that bury their dead,
They use music to accompany the march in which they take the corpse to the site at which it will be buried. I forget the name for such a thing.
Buried? You what?
Well,
Oh my, that's
some other religions
disgusting.
bury their dead. It's a way of commemorating them
Yeah.
in a way.
You don't burn them? That's disgusting. Anyway, what does this have to do with music?
Well, there was music akin to that played during one of these marches, so to speak. I don't know what significance that had per se, but that it came from these weird faces. Oh, I've never seen anything like it.
Faces. Oh, was it the people who died from this Hydra?
He kind of steps back, leans up against the foot of the bed, and takes a long swig from the flask.
You know, I hadn't really considered that. You might be right.
Oh, why did you dream? Why did? Are you next? Are you gonna die? And she like gets real close and like in his face, like with her hands on his shoulders, like kind of shaking him a little bit, like, "Don't fall asleep. You can't die. We need you."
Hey,
And then she looks over at Talanith, like kind of panicked, like, "Help!"
Planeth steps forward, apparently. I don't think we can hear you right now. You might be muted.
Might be muted.
Is there an echo in here?
Oh, sorry about that. Talanith walks forward. He's unsure what to do, though, but he narrows his eyes. Shakes them a little bit.
hey, look, I'm not going nowhere. If I can help it. If it takes me kicking and screaming, you know?
So
Did you-
Hopefully it won't come to that.
Not without a fight.
He you see him kind of grasp at something underneath his trench coat.
Did you didn't you, there wasn't anyone that looked a little like me, but different, was there?
No, to be honest. All the faces just seem like random.
Oof.
Couldn't really tell if they had any. I mean, you couldn't really tell. Just these pale faces, black eyes.
Yolanthe backs away, but she's like kind of like freaking out and like pacing back and forth in the room, and she's like, "We need to get everyone up. We need to kill. We need to fucking just let's. I don't like. We don't want this." Like she's just kind of blathering like that. Like I don't want to. We need to kill this thing. I know they said we can't, but like we need to. They can't, or they woulda. We need to kill this thing, and it needs to go away and be gone forever, and then we can go do our. We just need to kill it.
Hey,
We just need it gone.
Gestus, who is a gnome, steps up to you. He is.
Is he a gnome? I thought he was a. Oh yeah, no.
He's a gnome. He actually steps up to you. He's about waist high on you. to give you a little perspective here, reaches up for your hand and grabs it and says, "Hey, we're all okay. We're trying to work this out, and we're gonna get it too. We're gonna save everybody. No one else is gonna die. All right?"
And she kind of squeezes his hand, kind of like almost absent-mindedly, but she's just like calming down a little bit, like, okay. Okay.
"Is everyone okay?" You hear the voice come from outside in the hallway, and as he enters, Valphalin trudges in, armor, full clad in armor.
I think at the sight of Val, Yolanthe actually kind of like tears up a bit, like kind of she's breaking down a little bit, like not gonna lie. She is some kind of way. So she like vaults over and like kind of wraps her arms around him in like a big hug.
"Oh. Yolanthe, are you okay?
I
My
don't
friend."
think so. I want this thing dead. I want it gone. I want everyone to be safe and everyone to be okay.
Val, for a moment, hesitates, but then, like, slowly kind of wraps his hands around you and says, "It will be. We're still working it out, but we're going to figure this out together as a team."
What's our next move?
"Let us gather in the main hall, and we can discuss that very topic." "I'll assemble the others."
Talanith nods.
Valphalin kind of lets you go and pats you on the head, Yolanthe.
Sad Lanthe.
Sad Lanthe. "I will collect Tess, and we will be along shortly. I'll meet you there." He steps out of the room and continues down the hallway.
At this point, Tess has been up for a few minutes, and she's still laying in bed.
You hear the door creak
And
open.
she's scribbling in her journal, kind of frantically, while Scritto is kind of staring into the fireplace from the chair that he's sitting in.
Valphalin slowly opens the door. You see him peek in, and notice you awake as he opens it the rest of the way. "May I come in, please?"
And Tess quickly closes her journal and then sits it down on the bed. "Oh, yes, of course. Come in, come in. Although Tess would appreciate some knocking in the future."
"Oh, yes. I apologize." He seems distracted, eyes shifting mostly to the floor. Strangely, as he comes in, and he's never been the type to do this, but you notice he kind of closes the door behind him. "The others are, waiting for us."
Oh, apologies, friend. Tess just needed to take some time to get a little bit of extra sleep. Side note, Tess has barely slept at all throughout the night.
Okay.
She obviously looks tired. Like, she's got bags under her eyes. Her hair is always really messed up and matted, but it's looking extra matted. She's losing sleep over everything that's going on.
"Are you okay?"
Oh, Tess is okay. Tess will be okay. Scrito, are we ready to go for the day?
Scrito kind of hops out of the seat, hits the floor on his taloned feet, and walks up to the end of the bed. Are you ready? He mimics back at you in your own voice.
Tess reaches out and ruffles his little feathers on the sides of his face, like with both of her hands. She like ruffles his feathers, his
He
cheeks.
coos.
Scrito is so cute despite his horrible mutant bird hands.
Tess will be ready to go. Just allow Tess to freshen up a little.
Yes, of course. And he sort of steps back out of the room slowly.
Does he not close the door? Is he gonna little brother me?
No, he closes the
Oh,
door.
okay. I was like, is he gonna be like a sibling and just leave the door open? Y'all know, y'all with siblings know, they always leave the door open.
No, I was the little sibling. That was my parents. Like, burst open the door and then just leave it open. You're just sitting there like, dude.
As he passes
Tess begins to get her stuff together in her bag, and she moves to sit on the side of the bed looking at her door, and she just like takes a deep sigh. And that's it for me.
walking past the room, or back past the room where everybody is currently still standing, Val Phelan steps back in. Tess will be along shortly. I will await you in the tavern
She okay?
proper.
She's okay?
Seems okay, albeit somewhat tired, which I think we all are. Looking around the room at each of you. I'll see you out in the inn proper. He sort of slowly turns around and walks back through the door, and you hear the sound of his armor trudging up the hallway. What are you all doing?
Yolanthe starts to kind of do this weird, like, I want to say dissociation, like, thing where she's, like, just standing there kind of staring into space and kind of, like, starting to breathe a little bit heavier and heavier, and then immediately wild shapes back into her wolf form. Which
Talanith is.
it will not let me click on for some reason. What the fuck?
You're there. You're a
Oh,
wolf.
there you go. Talanith makes his way for the door and into the hallway as well.
As you go into the hallway, you see Val Phelan, his head hanging, sort of moving around the corner.
Why won't it let me click on it? What the fuck?
What are you trying to click on?
Wild shape.
I've already wild shaped you.
Yeah, but it's. I'm trying to keep us all honest, and well, whatever. It's.
Oh yeah, you
I'm
don't have to worry about that in this session. Like I said, I'm playing against the D&D
Well,
proper
like
rules,
we'll kind of downplay it a little bit because a literal goddess like gave me animal powers, so I'm a wolf now. Awoo. Anyway.
Yes, yeah, you don't have a limit to how often you can do this, unlike the D&D rules. Like this is New
Right.
Dalancia,
Oh,
not
I did
D&D.
click something. Okay, there it goes.
This is a homebrew campaign after all.
Yeah, I don't.
Anyway, I'm a wolf, and immediately as soon as wolf form hits, she like bolts out the door and starts following Val Phelan.
Okay.
After Yolanthe leaves, I'm gonna turn to Yestis and say, so in answer to your earlier question about when we got the dog, it's a bit of a long story as I walk out.
Maybe another time. Darkcool follows closely after. You all right then? You hear the two kind of chatter a little bit.
What the shit? Every time I try to move my token past the door, it closes.
No, you don't get to do that.
I don't know how to use doors.
I mean, you're a dog. That's why you don't get to do that.
Yeah, but it was open.
It closes shut. You can't reach the door.
Someone please save me. I'm stuck.
There you go.
Thank you. Oh my god.
The door closes.
I'm immediately going to walk right back and reopen.
I suppose Rack is sleeping in again. Not that I blame him.
We just hear snoring.
When I make a joke, it's funny.
He's probably working late into the night to turn more meat into
When I sleep, I'm snoring.
When the chieftain's sons fart, we don't blame the chieftain.
It's like,
Nope. There's ghosts in there.
or God gave a goat.
Don't you have the sense God gave a goat?
I'm clipping all of this, by the way.
Yeah.
Zero, we miss you.
We love
Come
you,
back,
Zero.
Zero.
So I was gonna say,
Zero, come back.
when we got these like headphone things and put them on, like, do we not hear the way
What?
of Hydra anymore?
I'm sorry. Did I miss?
no,
What are you?
there are no headphones. They're earplugs.
Well,
Oh.
sorry.
Oh my god! I was like, what technology did we suddenly have?
Whatever.
I think I'm picking up what you're putting down, and to directly answer your question. So you have these earplugs in. They're now made of wax instead of meat. They're no longer made of meat. To be clear, they are no longer made of meat. They're no longer made of wheat. They're made of
Or
wax
cheese.
Or cheese.
Right.
They're made of wax. When you have the earplugs in, you are able to hear. You are no longer able to hear the whatever this like weird background noise that you'd been hearing was. You can still kind of make out sounds around you as long as the environment is perfectly quiet. If the environment is not perfectly quiet, you either have to focus very hard to hear what's going on, or they have to be talking very, very loudly at you. Otherwise, the way that you've been speaking to one another is by using the sending stones. You've been touching the stones that on the rings that were given to you to speak to one another, sort of telepathically.
To summarize, we are no longer poking our meat into people's face holes. Also, on Push to Talk, my HP bar has a weird like blue section. What's that about?
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, do you see it, or is it just me?
No, I don't see it.
Oh, well, that's fun.
Weird blue. Oh, wait, I do
I-
see a weird blue section.
Yeah, what is that? What the fuck is that?
That looks like temporary hit points.
Am I about to die? Oh,
No,
wait.
that looks like you have 21 temporary.
Am
hit
I
points.
next? Why do I have 10
You're
hit points?
next. I don't know. Let me reset that. That might have been a weird thing that got pulled over from D&D Beyond somehow. I'm not
Okay,
really
we
sure.
may have had a thing that happened and I just forgot to take it off or something. I don't know. Anyway,
I don't know.
now
That's
we're
weird.
normal.
Either way, yeah, we're good.
The whole reason I even like said whatever I just said was because I wanted to see that more clearly, and I was like, "What is that even?"
All right.
So we're at the bar now.
Kolvar has been kind of polishing glasses all morning. Trixie is next to him doing the same.
Hey, adventurers. Welcome back.
Seems a little bit more spirited this morning than previous, when he's kind of been obviously visually depressed. What can
Aw.
I get for you?
Bark.
I'll have an ale.
An ale. I'll have the same, please. 2 ales coming up and a bark.
He knows what I like by this point. Come on.
Trixie's like, I'm pretty sure I know what they want.
Bark, bark.
Ianfyr, little guy. Don't call me little guy. Okay, little guy. He looks to be at least partially used to this. Yestis, I mean. Ianfyr? He kind of like waves. Hello?
I'm good for now.
You all right then? You usually order something.
Just a little concerns from yesterday.
Hey, all right. I get it. How about a water?
Well, I guess I better get something in my.
Probably for the best. And let me guess. Whiskey?
No, I'm gonna want to be clear-headed today.
Oh, he was looking at Yestis. I'm
No,
sorry,
I
I should have
know.
been clear about that. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, whiskey. Sure. Yeah, coming right up. He fucking goes back behind the counter, starts hooking up drinks. Trixie is also backing him up. You get your drinks like very, very quickly. Looks like the bar is kind of devoid of other patrons. The bards are sitting at their usual table. They have food, drinks. Haven't started playing for the day yet, though. Darkul kind of walks up behind the lot of you and says, "So, what do you think's the plan for the day? We've been to the castle at this point. They don't seem like they're going to be very helpful. Seem like you guys got a lot more traction at the Institute of Thaumaturgy. What now?"
Well, I'm at least going to try to put on a bit of goodwill, considering how things have turned out between me and the city. And much while I would not agree with them keeping us out, I would agree with the fact that they are a more organized militia, so they have a better chance at trying to solve this issue if they were competently run. But more importantly, I kind of have some personal matters to attend to in terms of my mom being missing, so I need to find her.
Yeah, that does seem like a logical next choice. Yolanthe, what are you up to?
We're fighting
Yolanthe?
walls again. Sorry.
As you
Oh,
creep through
Yolanthe is trying to find Tess. Sorry, Wolflanthe is trying to find Tess.
Yeah, Tess was still getting ready, but as you were walking through the halls, Sarahi actually comes out of the door there.
Oh.
Hello?
I sniff and wag. Can I roll a perception check on Sarahi, actually?
Sure. What are you looking for?
Just no reason. Just Just, you know, dogs sniff people. It's a sniff. It's a
Yeah,
sniff
okay.
check.
Go ahead and roll it.
It's a vibe check.
She smells
Well,
like
that's
someone
not good.
who.
It's just an 18.
It's just an 18. So she definitely has the smell of a person who has not yet taken a bath for the day. She has just woken up. You can see the kind of bags under her eyes, like she also did not sleep very well. Her hair is a little bit frazzled, and as she looks at you, she sort of combs her hands through it, trying to kind of get herself straightened out. You can tell that she's not used to these sort of environs around her. But she looks friendly nonetheless. Her demeanor, her stature is in no possible way threatening.
Okay. I sniff at her, give her a really friendly wag, kind of lick her hand, and then I scooch past.
She gives you a little scritch behind your ears, and as you scooch past, she continues walking down the hallway toward the door.
Eat.
She stops at the first room, kind of peers inside. As you continue down the hallway toward the door where you know Tess is sleeping. Nope, you can't reach the doorknob. Well, you can reach the doorknob, but do you want to try
What
to open it, or
is-
did you want to do something else?
I'm trying to open it now.
Okay.
I'm operating under the assumption that Wolflanthy has regular Yolanthy's mind and knows how to operate doorknobs, but Foundry has other ideas apparently. So.
You hear some
Yeah,
at the
I was
door.
about to say you could definitely scratch at the door, and
I am being one of your cats right now.
Tess is like, knock!
more so the dog than fucking the cats. Like the dog is the one that fucking he'll.
I am familiar with the sound of a dog on the other side of a door that fucking wants in real bad. Scratch, 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 scratch.
Tess was already sitting on kind of the edge of her bed, and she's just trying to collect herself, and she I see the door open.
I cannot. I don't know what's going on. I cannot go through doors right now. I'm sorry. It's just what it is. I am actually a wolf, apparently.
After hearing the scratching and the whining at the door, Tess is going to open it and see Wolf Lanthy on the other side.
No, but for real, I'm not being a dick. I'm trying to like scooch my token through the door and it just closes.
I'm in the way, maybe?
No.
I did it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there we
I've
go.
got it.
Okay. I mean, at this point, the
worked
door
finally.
is open.
I
We're
don't
just
know
gonna
why
leave
it-
the door open.
Why it decided. Oh, wait. Did you open it?
I did that.
Oh, you moved me. Okay.
So
Well,
the
that's
DM
weird.
did it, but let's just say for roleplay's sake that Tess opened the door because she
Tess
heard
is
you
like, okay,
scratching
I
at
get it.
Works for me.
Yeah, fair enough. Tess, or not Tess, Wolf Lanthy is like furiously sniffing at Tess and Scrito. Like, concern.
Tess is doing just fine, friend. Tess just need a little of extra time just to sit and think. And she's like rubbing her eyes. Like she's really tired. Scrito just also looks like beside himself with worry, I would imagine.
Yolanthy does like figure eights around the both of you, like nuzzling both of you constantly and whining.
Thank you, friend. There is just something that is not sitting right with Tess here. And Tess is not quite sure if she can be completely open and honest with the rest of everybody, but the council's need to exclude us from this fight just seems very fishy.
Yolanthy growls a little bit like,
Something is not right here, and Tess is not going to lie to you, friend. Tess is losing a lot of sleep over trying to figure this out and piece it all together.
bark, bark.
But what else are we going to do? But try and try and try and try and try and try and try. And she seems a little angry for a moment before she
Yolanthe
catches
kind of
herself.
nips at at Tessa's hand.
Whew. Thank
Bark,
you.
bark, bark. And then she kind of points towards the door and looks at Tess let's go.
You are right. Tess could use a hearty meal and
Gotta
a
be
good
fucking
drink.
kidding me.
Scrito, are you ready to go?
Can you please?
I'm just seeing the door
I don't
open and
know
close.
why. I
and
don't
open
know
and close.
why. I'm sorry.
It's a haunted door. This is a haunted
ass
door.
wolf.
Really quick,
It's a haunted door.
I'd like to cut back to everyone in the bar proper. You all hear the door swing open,
Whoa.
and there in the doorway, the figure of an elf trudges in. Ianfyr Jamalor, are you present? Ianfyr Jamalor. Ianfyr?
Yes? Who's
Yes.
asking?
I have a message.
From who?
She starts to walk over to you. Well, I think the message speaks for itself. She hands you an envelope. It has the signature on the front of Professor Torzalan.
Okay. Okay then. I will take the note. Are you expecting a reply?
No, just delivery.
Alright. Well,
And good day to you, sir. And she proceeds out of the bar.
I'll open up the note, see what he says.
Let me go ahead and show this. Let's see here. There we go. Used to ask me if I wanted to create a handout for that, which I would have done in this case, but it didn't ask me this time. So, here we go. The letter says, Ianfyr, I received word from the castle that they will be handling this threat themselves, and although I do trust the intentions of our noble overseers, I do believe this matter would be best seen to its resolution by the Institute and those people who have invested their time in Shopabin society. This is hardly a political matter, and while it may behoove us to place our trust in the military, there is simply no way to guarantee their foray into the beast's lair would be successful otherwise, as I will explain. The Council and I have worked tirelessly to find a way to thwart the influence of the beast, but with further testing, usage of the anti-magic field was tentative at best. Please do not rely on usage of such magic, as we have found the success rate only above 2% ratio, even for a seasoned veteran of such magic. Know that the Council is still working toward a solution on your behalf. When we have more solid findings, I will contact you directly forthwith. Since your arrival in Shopabin, I've had the opportunity to hear of your deeds, of you and your companions in Solterra. I have misjudged you, Ianfyr Jamalor. For that, you have my deepest and most humble apologies. Know that you always have a place among your peers at the Institute of Thaumaturgy, even if it is for only research or collaboration. You have clearly earned this and more. Torzalan.
Aw. I have a quick this is not related to this at all. I have a quick out of character question.
What's that?
If I, the player, have a thought that I think would help us out a lot, that I think my character would not come up with. How do we handle that?
Like a thought for the rest of the party, or a thought for something the DM needs to implement?
No, the thought for like how to handle the beastie.
You're always welcome to talk to the rest of the party.
No, yeah, like me, the person.
Yeah, I know.
Would think of this.
That's what I'm saying.
Yolanthe, the dumbass, would not think of this. So, like, what?
That's what I'm saying. You can always like talk to the rest of the group here without have it needing to be in character. Like you can
Okay.
like mix ideas and stuff. Like because like you're gonna do that sort of thing when like combat surfaces. So like you can always present ideas, and then you can kind of work out how to like role play that in. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. Because, like, me, the player, is real sus about this letter. Like, Yolanthe, the teenager who doesn't know shit, would have been like, oh, neat, cool, glad they accepted you, that's pretty cool. Me, the player, is like, I don't know about that, man. That sounds like sus as hell. Like, doesn't they hate you, like, forever? Let's go talk to them for realsies and find out for sure, you know?
That's fair.
Anyway, back to being a wolf. Bark, bark, bark.
Yeah, that sort of banter is always welcome, as you know.
Okay.
Like you can be,
Okay,
you can straight up be like, I'm kind of sussed out.
I didn't want to be the person who's like, oh, I solved the puzzle, but I'm also a dog, so like, you know, literal Scooby-Doo vibes over here.
But it is up to the other players how they role play now having that information, you know?
Okay, yeah, fair.
So, Ianfyr, you have just read this letter. Tess, I believe, and Yolanthe, you guys are making your way into the bar proper. I'd actually like to go ahead and take a 15-minute break because I got to pee.
Oh God, yes, me too.
So let's
Sounds
go ahead
good.
and take a 15. I'm going to also roll a long ad so that we can block those people hopping in from having ads henceforth. So I will see you all back in 15, and yeah, see you then.
Okay.
And we are back. Let me actually restart the music real quick here. The song is called Den of Iniquity from Tabletop Audio. Thank you so much, Tabletop Audio, for all the wonderful music that you have given us throughout the years that we have been playing this game. And adding more.
Thanks. I
to the
actually
thing.
kind of like low-key, not to interrupt, but I low-key was like never even really thought about who did the music, so like thanks. That's cool.
Tabletop Audio, yeah, they make their music available free for anybody running D&D campaigns, especially those of us who are doing it on stream, so that we can get some copyright free and not going to flag us on YouTube and not going to flag us on Twitch and not going to make us pay the price for using other people's music. Thank you so much for that. Ianfyr just received this letter. Tess, you have just woken up to a wolf. As much as we all always wake up
A
to
wolf
a
who
wolf,
can't open doors.
a wolf who has trouble with doors.
You know, I'm really familiar with that, actually, on a personal level. Either way, let me back up because we already came a certain distance. Tess heard the scratching on the door. She opened the door. Yolanthe came in. Tess is obviously very tired. She's rubbing her eyes a lot. She's rubbing her temples. She seems a little bit more stressed out than is her usual self.
You keep kind of cutting out just a little bit, I think.
Oh, sorry. My bad. Let me adjust my microphone. Tessa's a little bit more stressed out than usual. But she's going to stand up, collect her bag with her mother's skull in it. She's going to check in on Scritto and make sure that he's ready to go. She could use a hearty breakfast and maybe a hearty drink to go along with her late morning uprising. Either way, she follows Yolanthe outside the door. We're gonna join everybody at the bar. I can take control of Skritos. You don't have to.
Squirto follows right behind you, as always.
Yes, as always. She
He's-
checked in with Skrito earlier to make sure that he was doing okay, and seemed like he was just worried about Tess.
Caw.
Oh no, I have to. Okay. Let me do Tess first, and then I'll come back to Skrito.
I don't even care.
So if I can move forward,
I'm sorry.
and Yolanthe can move.
I don't know
forward,
what's going
then-
on, but
About
we're
the
past it.
doors. How
No,
could
it's
I
like they
know?
worked fine before. I did this before. I know it.
You can't reach. You can't reach. You forgot how to use doors.
They're like the round doors where you can't nose them open.
You probably, at some point, you probably smoked the forget how to use doors weed. That's
Oh,
That was what was in the tea.
dang. That was what was in the tea. It makes you forget
Forgot
how to use doors.
door. I really also appreciate that like everyone is piled up on this side of the bar when you can all just like come to the other side and have a chair.
But like, okay, real quick, how are we supposed to hear each other if we're on either side of the bar? I've been to bars
You,
before, and
you-
you have to like
Bark!
scream.
You grab the. Well, no. You can't even talk to each
Valenti
other
has
without.
no inside voice. Bark, 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 bark.
Right now, you can't even talk to each other without using the sending stones. So it's like you can hear each other no matter.
I'm
You could be in the other room.
obnoxious dog that's like, "Where's my treats?"
Those are the sending stones. You can use those to
Yeah.
talk to your.
So
to
in
each
the
other.
sending stone right now, all you hear is bark, bark, bark.
Maybe from anywhere. Hey, Tess. What can I get for you?
If you have some coffee with a little bit of whiskey in it, that would be really nice.
Bark,
Coffee with a whiskey. You see, this is what I'm talking
Bark,
about.
bark, bark,
And Trixie
bark,
is like, please
bark."
don't do this in front of the customers. Yeah, all right. Coffee with a whiskey. Yeah, coming up right now. Do we have coffee?
bark.
Trixie is like, I will go make a pot now.
Also, some scrambled eggs would be really nice.
And scrambled eggs.
Oh, he's very intense. Oof.
Well, he's yelling at Trixie, who is already walking
Oh.
toward them. Scrambled
he was
eggs.
just-
You've
I
got
thought he
it.
was just yelling in Tessa's face for a second, like, "Oh, dude, okay."
I mean, he's just excited over scrambled eggs.
Scrambled eggs are pretty legit. Not gonna lie.
Toss salads
Yeah.
and scrambled eggs. Ooh, I'm old. Okay.
Dude. Oh my god, speaking of mood, so like I know some of my coworkers are listening right now, at least one of them. I had to explain two of them the Badger Mushroom Snake song, and I felt like the worst piece of shit ever afterwards. Like, ew.
Hi, Jeremy.
Hi.
Sounds like you a little
you creeping?
young to be
Creeping our
picking
show?
up.
And to those of you who
On
do
these
remember
jokes.
what the Badger Mushroom Snake song stuff is about, it's time to go ahead and take your back medicine.
For real, though.
Please
Yep.
do take some.
I had to tell
ibuprofen.
multiple of my coworkers this, and I was just like, you can all go fuck yourselves, for real. Like, get out of my house. Get off my lawn.
Does anybody else want breakfast other than Tess?
Bark!
Breakfast?
Bark!
No, wait. I think I have just the thing right
What?
here, actually. And he pulls out like
A bone.
some jerky.
Ooh.
Wait, where are you?
I'm at the other side of the bar, not
Oh, there
like
you are.
fucking crowding like a bunch of weirdos.
You want some of this, girl? Yeah? He tosses the jerky out.
I catch it like an expert. I have to roll for that.
Roll a
don't
dexterity check.
Yes.
What was it? Dexterity?
Yep. DC 15. Wow, you
Oh.
rolled a 15 and got a plus
I
2, which
did,
is a
in
17.
fact, catch it expertly. Thank you very much. I was not like Sammy and just let it bounce off my head and catch
You
it.
know,
when it
that's
was on the
better
floor.
than our own dog who, like, we toss stuff at him and he just watches it go by him and he's like, okay, I'll just lick it up off the ground.
No, Sammy would legit, like, you would toss her even her favorite treat ever, a Cheeto or a jalapeno, and she would just let it bounce off her forehead, watch it hit the ground, and then eat it off the ground. I was like, dog, you can catch, you know.
You all watch as Wolf Lanthy is tossed to this dried meat and just snaps it up with a satisfying chomp right out of the air.
Chomp, 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 chomp.
Oh, that was
I make
good.
a bunch of disgusting chewing noises that I'm not gonna do into microphone, but like, just imagine that's in the background while y'all talk about whatever.
Yum.
Breakfast? Anyone else? We got breakfast. There's breakfast. Valphalin is just sort of staring into his drink, swirling it around a bit, taking a sip.
Same with Talanith. Talanith taps Val's mug with his.
Right. Sorry. He takes another swig.
So, I'm gonna. I've been thinking a little bit about some of the dirge stuff that was mentioned, like this funeral stuff. I'm gonna say. So I'm gonna say. So I've been thinking a little bit about what you've been saying to Yestis this morning, and tell me if you can help me, like, with this song. So I'm gonna pull out that whistle thing I found in the lockbox.
Okay.
I'm gonna see about playing it.
Brought a pizza.
Okay.
Sorry, did you just say bought a pizza?
Yes.
Do we have pizza? Is this
Yeah.
in this world?
I'm sure anything is anywhere. So, you know, we have access to a mirrored plane. Of course, there's gonna be pizza here somewhere.
Oh my
You
god.
you lift the whistle to your mouth and you start to blow into it. It produces a sound that you don't seem to hear anything from.
Do I hear it?
Yup. It's very high pitched, very shrill sound, but you definitely make it out, Ianfyr. A few moments pass before you hear a scratching at the door of the inn, or of the tavern.
Bark, 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 bark.
Ianfyr, roll a perception check. This one's a scent-based perception check.
Oh, is that advantage or no?
Yes, we'll give that advantage. Yeah.
I guess which room you walked into?
The 27 room.
Yes.
Ianfyr, you smell a you smell an animal just outside the door that you're trying to open.
This is kind of frustrating, but also super fucking funny. So I'm not even mad about it, really. There's an animal. Okay, hold on.
Hear this
Me-
at the door.
Oh, okay. I caught a glimpse. I know what it is. I have a 27 perception of what the animal is.
Good luck telling the rest of the party what that is.
Well, bark.
Mark.
I bark. I run over to Scrito. I don't know. I run over to someone, whoever's in the immediate like ability to get away from their breakfast and come follow, and I do the like turn circle, bark, 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 run towards the door. Halfway I get to the door and I stop and I'm wagging like furiously and looking back like hello.
Ianfyr?
Bark. Bark, 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 bark,
Bark,
Bark.
bark. Woof.
bark. I can do this all day, people. Come on. Bark,
Eulanthia is barking at the door,
bark.
which is closed.
Ianfyr is also currently muted. I'm not sure if he's talking or if something else is going on.
Sorry about that. I was like, okay. So first to Yestis, I say, sorry, I meant to, I thought this was going to work. I may have to get this thing fixed up or this may be the wrong whistle.
Hey,
And then,
no problem.
seeing the activity, I'm going to go, oh, I guess Eulanthi has something important to show us, and I'll start heading over that way.
Eulanthia heads over to the front door where you hear a scratching at the front, at the door of the inn. Opening up the door reveals a large, black, fluffy dog. As soon as
I would like to say, before you say whatever you're gonna say, I would like to say, Yolanthi interferes real quick, like intercepts, like hops in, like, who are you? What's your business? Are you friend or foe? You know, like in dog.
the dog moves toward Eulanthi with a sniffing you.
Okay.
So
we
they
sniff.
immediately sniff each other's butts because that's
Yeah, I
how
was
they
about
can
to say,
tell each
like,
other's emotions.
There's an
Yeah, moves
instinct
in.
where she's just like, go for the butt. Yeah.
Moves in to sniff your butt immediately.
We do the circle thing.
Yeah, the circle thing happens. You feel that this dog is here because it has been called. It doesn't seem to have
okay.
any sort of malicious intent or anything like that outside of
All
like,
right,
hello,
so she
friend.
goes and sits next to Ianfyr and asserts her acceptance.
It stands before Ianfyr and then immediately places its butt on the ground, staring up at Ianfyr, panting.
Do I recognize the dog at all?
No.
All right, I will put a hand out, almost as if to pet it, but to put it to its face first to let it like sort of sniff at my hand and stuff.
It immediately moves into your hand and then starts licking your hand.
And then I will start to I will pet the dog. And is there a collar or something along its neck?
Doesn't appear to have a collar, but what it does do is immediately it sort of nuzzles up against your hand that you're holding the whistle in, and it noses at the whistle.
All right. I guess I will look to Sarahi and go, maybe you could explain this?
Zarahi, having just come out from the other room, immediately takes off around the bar, rushes over to the front door, lands on her knees, grabs around this dog and says, "Anchor!" This dog is like licking on her face and just kind of tackles her to the ground. I was hoping the two of you would meet. This is my best friend since you left. The one thing that has been grounding me here.
Well, yeah. So tell me a bit about him because he seems to be pretty friendly.
Well, I found him in the harbor district. Didn't have a home. Well, he was, let's just say, a few times that I met him before we, made friends, he was, well, using his charms to make his way through the harbor district. I think you see the parallel that I'm drawing here.
Yeah.
He reminded me of you, and so he became my friend.
Well, does he do much for you? Does he do anything else besides be friendly? Can he help you out in ways as well?
Oh, well, he's mostly been a companion for me, but I've heard he can teach dogs all sorts of things.
Bark.
Bark.
I'll say. Well, how has he been? Have you been able to use him to, or has he been able to help you with finding things?
Well, I haven't really needed him to help me find anything. But like I said, all dogs are capable of learning. It's like people.
Bark.
I'm gonna say,
Bark.
actually, since we have a friend here who could maybe help teach him, I'll go to Yolanthe as like, maybe Yolanthe, you can help us out with this finding my mom trick.
Wolf Lanthe head tilts.
I'll say,
Anchor head
Do you-
tilts.
yeah, I'll be like, if I were to give you something that had her scent, maybe you could help us to try to track her down.
Bark, bark.
Bark.
I just realized you were doing the anchor bark instead of just being like, yeah, bark, indeed.
Actually, that's an interesting thing. Would Yolanthe be able to actually understand Anchor?
I feel like this is just me, like, kind of interpreting. I feel like it's like somebody from like one part of the continent, like from one part of the US or whatever, talking to somebody else with one part of the US, like, you know, like somebody from up north being like, oh yeah, I'm from
Just, like,
Minnesota, don't you
different
know?
accents,
and then me
right?
from Texas coming in with my, I'm from Texas, hot too. So like, I feel like it's just a dialect thing. Like, we understand each other. We're just like having to like cringe at each other's weird ass accents.
Yep. Yeah, that's pretty much what it's
That's
like.
my interpretation. I'm sticking to it. What to?
Bark.
Bark, bark.
So I think
Oh, should I actually be saying like bork,
Bark.
bark?
Bark.
Well, to be fair, you're probably more of a wild accent, considering you were more of a forest kind of person. Whereas if he'd been hanging around like the
Oh yeah, so he's the more like bark, and I'm like brack, 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 brack.
yeah,
Honestly, he
But,
looks pretty
Holy
shabby.
Bark.
He doesn't look like he's been brushed or anything
Oh,
like that.
okay,
His
my
hair's
kind
really
of man.
matted.
Like, I think Yolanthe kind of. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna roll a d20 real quick. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Carry on.
5. Bark,
if
bark,
it had
bark.
been like, if it had been like a 10 or higher, I would have been like, Yolanthe's actually kind of like crushing a little bit. Like Wolf Lanthe. That would have been interesting and also horrifying. So I'm kind of glad we rolled though.
No, the dog's hair is kind of matted. Looks like it's not really been taken care of. It definitely looks like a stray.
Sarahi. No, but like canonically, Yolanthe always, like any animal form she takes, she chooses the scruffiest, like ugliest version of the animal. Like the wolf Lanthe is like the scrawniest, like mangiest looking wolf you can imagine. because she knows people leaves her alone whenever she's like in this like ugly animal form. So like she chooses that. So I think she and Anchor are kind of like looking at each other like, yeah, I get you.
Otherwise, this
We're
dog
bros now.
tail wagging, doesn't posture at all.
Does he look like Beethoven? I'm kind of like picturing him as Beethoven, and I refuse to accept otherwise.
He kind of does have that really fluffy kind of look
Like a
about him.
like a Saint
a Saint
Bernard.
Bernard, yeah.
Are we talking like a Saint Bernard dog?
Yeah, Beethoven,
or like
the Saint Bernard.
what are we looking at here as far as like how the dog looks?
It's like the picture is like a, I don't know, like
What's the
a
dog doing?
a fluffy dog, but like I am headcanoning like Beethoven, but like a scruffy, like wild version of Beethoven.
An unkempt Beethoven.
Unkempt Beethoven. Beethoven the unkempt. I wanted to come up with a pun. I couldn't. I'm sorry.
Ah, yes,
Anyway.
it's
We spent a lot of time on that. Let's move on.
if we want to get down to the breed, hun, it's a Newfoundlander.
Oh,
So a Newfoundland?
That's actually what the art is.
I'm
called.
sorry.
It's-
Say again. What is the breed?
A Newfoundland?
Yeah, the art is actually called Newfoundlander.
Newfoundland.
Okay, hang on.
But yeah,
I will
it's a Newfie.
post. I'll post a Newfoundland.
Oh, okay.
And I will
Yeah, there we go.
and I will post the art of the dog. Hold on a second here. Where is the thing? Where did I put it? Hello? Ah, there it is. How do I actually show that? Oh, right. So I'd have to go like view character artwork, and then I'd have to say show artwork. There it
Dude,
is. That's what the dog
Trying
looks
to
like.
post a Beethoven GIF on Discord is equal parts legit Beethoven the composer and Beethoven the fucking dog, and I'm so fucking amused by it.
But that's the dog you all are.
Yo,
looking
it's
at
been
right there.
forever since I've seen Beethoven, the
It's a
movie.
weird
Like
fucking
I
movie.
grew up with those, but yeah.
I rewatched it kind of recently. The plot line is so fucking like weird. I'm like,
He doesn't
this
have
is definitely a '90s movie. Like,
he doesn't have the jowls, but he's definitely fluffy like that. Also, not quite as drooly.
okay,
That's a dog.
diggy dog. Well, Yolanthe is a scruffy ass wolf, so scruffy ass Newfoundland, which is a big dog, people, and scruffy ass wolf. So we're all big, scruffy, stinky, smelly dogs. Apparently,
And this one looks kind of unkempt, hair
it
matted
smells
in places.
real great by the front door. I'm sure.
No mange though, thankfully. But he does smell
No,
of
well,
salt
she's
water.
not actually mangy. She just looks it, you know.
But he does smell of salt water.
Ew.
Ianfyr, you recognize
Anyway,
the smell of this
we're
as
both
the Harbor
stinky,
District.
so.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm gonna see. Actually, I don't think I pocketed anything from the house where we wanted to go check. I was gonna say we may need to go back to my mom's house to go get something to see if we can try to retrack her scent.
We have the tea. I mean, Bart. Like, Yolanthe legit pilfered the tea from your house, and nobody said shit, so she just did it, and we have it. So, like, we could just use that. I mean, bark, 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 bark.
I'm gonna say, oh, that's right. That my mom's tea. Didn't you say you really like that tea?
Who are you talking to?
To Yolanthe, because Yolanthe's been barking this whole time.
Oh, yeah, Yolanthe has been barking because every time you say, we need to go to my mom's house to get something, she does a bark spin, bark spin, bark spin, run toward the bar, run back.
Although
Bark,
I can't imagine where you would keep the
bark.
where that tea would be at, because
Well, he made some for us, right?
Bark, bark, bark,
okay,
bark, 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 bark,
maybe,
bark.
Maybe I'm massively misremembering. Like, we had a whole thing where Yolanthe was like, boil me some water because I want to try this tea, and it smelled really good. And then we went on me and Tess went on a adventure where we stole pictures and sniffed cum or whatever, and then like we.
Oh, you
we,
mean tears?
Yeah, tears. Quote, unquote.
Tears. It was
I mean,
tears.
Tess does happen to derail things, but you don't always have to follow her for everything.
Well, I wasn't there for that, to be honest. We went back, and I assumed that eventually the bartender made the tea, and I tried it, and I was like, "It's dope." And then we went to bed or whatever.
Yes, yeah,
Like,
that's pretty much
and
how
then
that went down.
I
It's
will
dope.
formed, yeah. But we have it. Like, there's still some left, I presume.
Yeah, you had a whole jar of it.
So the jar is here, so we just need that, and I can sniff that, and then find your mom, right?
Yeah.
Me and Beethoven. No, what's his name?
Anchor,
Anchor.
according to Sarahi.
Ankoven.
When I found him, he was playing with an anchor. You see, well, the rope tied to an anchor.
What the fuck? What? I'm sorry. What?
You'd be
Say that
surprised
again.
how strong he is. I'm pretty sure he drug it up himself, you know. Yeah, he's a newfie. To be clear about that, hunt. Yes. You can see in that first picture that you posted, the seriously one.
Oh no, I was just pointing out how we brought up Beethoven, but like this is in Newfoundland, and like
yeah, no,
Beethoven is in
I
Saint
just
Bernard,
like
so-
headcanon him to be
It's-
Beethoven, but because of his
it's-
shenanigans. But like
Yeah,
a
it's
Newfoundland
like-
will work just as well.
It's kind of the same exact look, to be honest, because the dogs look pretty much.
They're both big,
alike.
fluffy, drooly, jolly dogs. You know,
Exactly. They're big old goofy goobers.
goofy goobers.
Bart,
Art.
So, once we come back up to this bar, I'm gonna go and say, "Hey, you remember that tea stuff we brought back last night? Do you still have some available?"
I'm sorry, the what?
The tea that we
Oh, the-
made last night.
You're asking who?
To the bartender.
No, that's something that your pupper friend had here.
Hmm. Well, we're gonna have to. I guess you'll have to, when you get a chance, we'll have to find where you put it and go pull some out.
I thought I left it. I actually don't know. I know we did the tea, and then I don't know what happened to it after that.
There's a sudden like as you hear like what sounds like a bar stool like scooting out. Val Phelan stands up in his seat
Oh,
and he kind of just quietly walks toward the front door and goes outside.
oh.
Talanith is gonna follow him.
So, does Yolanthe remember the smell of the tea?
Sure. You
I know this is a roll thing. I know this is a perception roll thing. Can we just pretend that I already passed it and move on?
you drank it and you really liked it, so it,
I
it
don't even need
probably
the
is,
tea. I just need the jar.
I mean, you have it in your olfactory at this point. You probably remember what it smells like.
Well, so would I remember well enough from what it smells like to be able to trace the owner, like the person who handled the jar of tea? You know what I mean? Like, we're looking for the jar of tea because that belonged to Ianfyr's mother, who, if like I smelled the jar, I could trace. Me and Anchor could trace where she is.
Because originally Ianfyr's mom had seemingly shared tea with the red
With
wizard.
the red robe, yeah, with the wizard.
Yeah,
so
the
like
red
if all
wizard.
I can remember is the smell of the tea, I don't think that does me any good. Can I remember what the actual like jar, like with the actual like I don't know. Does that help me at all to find?
We
Ianfyr's
never
mom?
actually had the tea brewed, though.
We did though.
Yeah,
I
she
had
did.
them
She
do
had
it.
the
Well,
bartender brew up.
We just
She had
kind of like
She
had
okay,
Trixie go
so
and boil
she
some water.
okay.
Sorry.
Hang on, let me finish. I was taking notes. She brought the tea to Trixie, asked Trixie to brew the tea so that everyone could taste it, but then Tess went off on this separate adventure to go look at the separate rooms, and then Yolanthe followed. So what happened to the tea? I have no idea.
So what happened
well,
after
okay,
that?
So what I recall, correct me if I'm wrong. Yolanthe was suspicious and dragged Tess over to the other side of the bar that we've never been to find the bartender crying. And then Yolanthe was like, let's go have some tea, and clapped him on the back and dragged him away to have the tea. And then Tess stayed behind and investigated all the stuff and all that. But I feel like at some point in the night we all like did have the tea because it was already brewed. Like at some point while we were doing that, the I forgot her name, Trixie, barmaid Trixie.
Barmaid probably came back. Like I said,
She did bring the thing and was like, "Where'd she go?" And Ianfyr or somebody was like, "Oh, she'll be right back." And then, we had tea.
Like I said at the beginning of the episode, we kind of like we were at the end of the day, so we fast forwarded a bit. But yes, you did wind up having the tea right before bed. It was very delicious. But
yeah,
I'll
admittedly, I thought the tea would like be a hallucinogen or like something. It was just normal ass tea. It was just really good.
You just drank it and went to bed.
But it did belong to Ianfyr's mother, and it was in a jar that was in her house. So I was like, if we have a thing that was in her house, surely as often as she's handled it, I would get a decent enough whiff of her like essence from that to track her.
I feel like more importantly, now you have the smell of the tea locked into your olfactory senses.
Yeah.
And just kind of sit on that for a while. Like, just remember the smell of the tea.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at.
Well,
there.
okay. Well, like, would the tea smell help me to find the mom, or would it have to be from like the jar itself?
Perhaps.
You know what I mean?
You do know that the two of them had tea. That's the reason you took it in the first place.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Right
sure.
before they went missing.
Let's go with that. Okay, yeah, okay. So I would just have to remember, like, dig deep in my olfactory, but then that doesn't help Anchor. Like, Anchor is just like, I don't know, I didn't smell the tea.
I mean, Anchor can. Well, yeah.
Also, we
Anchor
cannot
didn't smell
speak
the
for
tea.
Anchor quite yet because Anchor is just, as far as we can tell, a dog.
Wait a second, hold
Right.
on. We've been doing this all wrong. I'm a literal wolf, he's a literal dog. We can talk together. Is that right? Am I wrong?
Speak with animals?
Like, I mean, I'm an animal. Like, I'm a wolf. He's
That
a
is
dog.
fair.
Can we talk? Can we, like, talk together?
I think you can communicate in certain ways.
Real quick.
It's like
If
different dialects.
If I have to cast speak with animals, I can, but I'm
Sorry,
saying I'm a literal,
so-
like, animal,
That's
like a dog adjacent
So,
animal.
wait, real quick. We all know why dogs sniff each other's butts, right?
Yeah, it's like saying hello, right?
No,
Please.
it's not saying hello.
Is it not?
Dogs,
Okay.
just like cats, they sniff each other's assholes because they emit this olfactory response that tells other animals if they're stressed out, if they're happy. Like there are a range of emotions that dogs and cats can pick up by smelling each other's emissions on the anus. That's
Okay, I rolled an 18.
Yes.
You-
What did
you-
I pick up from Anchor's anus?
You had already picked up this from Anchor's anus that he was not like.
His ass.
No, he
Yes.
he wasn't
His
like
ass.
he didn't have any kind of intention of harm toward any of you.
Oh yeah,
Like,
that's right. I
he-
rolled one earlier.
He was simply responding to what he had heard, and his immediate thought was, "Hey, new friends."
Oh, so he's just a big himbo.
That's one way of
there
putting
you
it.
go. If he's a
I
big
like it.
himbo and he's just coming in, he's like, "Hi, friend."
Hi, friend.
Hello,
You know,
friend.
like
so,
the golden retriever from
Okay,
Up when he's like squirrel.
let's let Yolanthe
Hi.
sit.
I love you.
Close her eyes, let her ears rest back for a second. Deep breath. Remember the smell of the tea. If I roll a perception check, what? No, it wouldn't be a perception check, would
That would
it?
be a perception
Can
check.
I
yes.
ask something real
Investigation?
quick? Can I ask something as someone who does not play a druid, but someone who also knows a lot about dog behavior?
Okay.
So, does Yolanthe's anus emit the smell of stress to other dogs or
Not
other
normally when she's in wolf form, probably.
canines?
Sure.
Like,
Mhm.
okay, so
If
is
she's in
stressed
spider
out.
form, you're kind of on your own there.
Other animals, like in I'm obviously like
You've also
in
kept
dog
rats.
form.
What do rats do? Do they do it too?
So
Because I'm a rat a
Rats?
lot.
yeah, rats turn their back to the thing that stresses them out. They don't have like a smell that they put off. Rats do. I'm sorry, Twitch, for this real quick. I'm really huge
No, for
into
real,
animal
Twitch.
behavior.
Free animal handling lesson.
Rats
Bit
when they're
the-
super happy, they do this thing called boggling, and it's where their eyeballs, like you look at their eyeballs and their eyeballs will like they do this like stutter thing where it looks like their eyeballs are about to like pop out of their skull, but it like
What?
it does it over and over and over again. If you look up rat
the fuck?
boggling online, you can see it. Rats do that when they're super happy and they're comfortable.
I
when
just posted
rats-
it.
Oh my god! Ugh. Oh my god!
Brother,
I am
That's how we
so-
learned. That's
I'm
how we learned
so
that Acid
happy.
is so not down
I'm
with
so happy
owning
you guys
rats.
told me this before I get pet rats because holy shit, that would have scared the shit out of me.
What's
Okay,
that, brother?
you know, it
What's
grows on
that?
you. It grows on you. Okay,
I-
as somebody
yeah, I-
who has
that-
owned
that
multiple
means they're
rats,
happy?
it grows on you. That means they're happy. Yeah. So that's what a rat
That's a
does
good thing
when
that
it's super
happens?
happy. That's a good thing because they're.
That's
but at
so
the same
scary.
time,
Oh my goodness.
so at the same time they're doing
Never mind,
that,
I'm getting
they're
lizards.
at the same time they're doing that,
Same,
they're chittering, they're
same.
grinding their teeth together, which makes
Okay,
their
I
ears
see.
wiggle and it makes their eyes boggle out of their skulls
Wow,
a little
that's,
bit.
That's a
But-
thing.
but you
Like,
hear
that's
them
not just that
chittering.
rat being like in pain or whatever.
Nope, they're happy.
Oh my goodness, that's
Yeah.
all right. Twitch,
Either
like
way.
I'm, my mind is blown right now. I'm like, what the fuck?
when
Seriously,
rats are,
look up
when
rat boggling. That's fucking wild. That's a
it boggles
happy
your
thing.
mind, right?
It's
completely boggles your
boggling my mind right now. Like,
So either way, to wrap this up real quickly,
sorry, yeah,
when
we went on a
oh no,
thing.
when rats are unhappy, they turn their back to it. Whatever the problem is, if they don't want to socialize with you, they turn their back to you. Like literally, they will give you the coldest shoulder that you have ever
Okay.
experienced ever.
So if they're happy with you, their face fucking like spazzes out, and if they're not happy with you, they're a passive aggressive ex-girlfriend. Got it.
There you go. And I challenge you to use those behaviors in the
Okay.
future. If
I
you
will,
ever
for
wild
real.
shape
That
into a
is-
rat again. I want you to
That is
remember boggling.
disturbing, and I want to use it, but I'm a wolf right now. What do wolves do? Do wolves boggle? They don't boggle. That's unfortunate. Anyway,
Oh no, but
Um,
I can. That's a whole discussion for later. Either way, sorry, DM. Continue.
You close your eyes, you focus on the olfactory sensation that you had when you drank the tea
Like,
the night prior.
I had been entertaining the idea of getting pet rats, and now I'm kind of like, I don't know. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
You guys are so locked on. Lol.
Or what?
I would like to, I said you're so locked on, lol. The
There's
boggling
still a
thing.
picture of the dog on the Twitch stream, by the way. I don't know if that matters or not.
Oh, you can close that out
yeah,
at your
because
leisure.
no, it's on the Twitch stream. I'm keeping it
Oh,
up
yes,
because
yes.
this is the animal that
okay.
we're currently interacting
This is
with.
Anchor.
I
Hey,
will make it.
I do
yeah.
want to ask. Is
I'll make it
he-
smaller and I'll move it off to the
No,
side.
no,
to make
it's
it a
not
little
bothering
less
me. I just
distracting.
wanted to point it out. But I do want to ask now that I'm looking at the picture, because I think this is always so cool. Is he heterochromatic?
Yeah, it looks like he is, yeah.
Yeah, he's got one
Oh,
blue
that's
eye and
cool.
one green eye. It looks like.
Awesome. Oh, just like you.
I would like to cut for a moment to outside, where Talanith has approached
Oh, yeah.
Valphalin, who is sort of in a huff, pacing back and forth across these plants you see here.
Yeah, Talanith is gonna look at Valphalin and say, "Something troubles you."
He
Beyond the obvious.
No, friend. It is the obvious. And perhaps also
We need to
beyond.
find out. We do need to find out what we can do. We need a plan.
I'm just not sure it's going to be good enough.
We've been...
Yes. However, before you were here, and you may not know this, I failed them once. We had journeyed to the Nine Hells, and... well, when it came down to it, the threat that lay before us, a Death Knight, nearly took my life.
A Death Knight.
I wasn't able to protect them then, and I'm not sure that I can now. I'm not sure I can protect anyone.
You can. Talanith puts a hand on his shoulder and says, well, as best as he can, because Valphalin's tall.
Very tall.
And he says, yeah.
Talanith
says,
stand on his
"I have-"
Talanith toes, his tippy toes.
Yeah, Talanith Tippy Toes. Oh God, don't let that be a nickname in the future.
Hey, Tippy Toes.
Talanith Tippy Toes. And he's like, and he says to Valphalin, I have faith in you. We'll get through this.
I only fear that your faith is misplaced, my friend.
Let me be the judge of that.
That is fair.
Let's go back in and join the others.
I need the fresh air. But please, I'll be in shortly. Don't worry about me.
No, I am going to stay here with you. And that Talanith pulls out a pipe and just calmly smokes while we just sit there.
Valphalin kind of he kind of backs into this this planter and takes a seat on some of the stone that makes up its lining.
Very well. You're welcome to stay, of course, my friend.
I'm not sure if that came through or not.
None of us should be alone.
The two of you sit sort of in silence for the next few minutes, passing a pipe back and forth and enjoying a good smoke, looking out across a horizon of city street, housetops, and a beautiful sunrise that is happening off in the distance. The sky, all sorts of shades of pastel purples and oranges before you, like a painting. As the day starts to set in before you, the streets, which would normally be bustling and full of people, are devoid somewhat. There is the occasional person who begins to go about their day, but as you sit and smoke and reflect, the streets are relatively barren. It's a sort of foreboding image in your mind. Moving back to the inside, Ianfyr seems to have made her way behind the bar.
Yeah, she's sniffing for tea.
So the jar of tea was something that was on your person, or no? Did you hand that off the entire jar to? I'd like you to go ahead and roll a oh no, you already rolled a perception check and it was an 18.
I think.
The
Well,
smell.
let me roll again. I love rolling
okay.
perception checks because, you know.
You're good at it.
No, but like I do kind of remember Ianfyr being like, "Hey, can you boil some water? Here's some tea. Can we make some tea?" And
Yes, yeah, you handed
kind
that
of
to
passing
Trixie.
it off, like, yeah, to Trixie.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't remember if
So-
you kept the bottle or if you just handed her a pinch or what.
I don't either, to be honest. But
Let's go with that. 20.
uh,
You can smell the
I'm
distinct
sorry,
smell
it's
of the.
not a 20. What's the actual number?
number?
What's the actual number?
31,
It's a
but it was
31.
it was a nat 20, which is a critical.
It is a nat 20, yeah.
from the
a natty.
back room. This.
Oh, hey,
back
before
room.
you continue, didn't we have a sound effect for natties? Because
Oh,
I
shit,
I
you're
rolled
right.
Twice. I feel like I've
Where?
rolled 2 this session. Is that
Yeah, holy
my?
shit! I forgot that we had that. Wait, did I?
I mean, you don't have to do it. I was just like, is that not a thing?
No, okay. I
happened?
had it, but I think I lost it because you remember when
Oh,
my voice
no.
mod like fucked
Yeah,
up. So we'll
yeah.
just say, nope, that was the wrong one.
No, it's fun. I just
That's scary.
I just know
That's
sometimes it's frustrating when like something that you thought you set up to happen doesn't happen. So I'm like, was that supposed to happen or did we change that? But like,
Yeah, I forgot
Any-
my voice mod died,
anyway,
and I
so
didn't
with
really
what,
have like a
31,
reference
what
page
do
or
I
anything.
smell or see or hear or know forever?
From the back room, back here, you smell the distinct smell of the entire jar of tea that you were carrying on you previously.
Where?
It's from the back room, where Trixie had left toward the kitchen. back
Oh,
here.
okay. That's where the tea is.
Yeah, not the bathroom on the other side. You can clearly smell the shit.
Yeah, I thought you said bathroom. I was like, what?
No, the kitchen over here. Are you sneaking or anything, or are you just gonna like trot
No,
right the
I'm
hell
legit just like sniffing around. Like, I want to find the smell of the tea. I want to find the smell of the jar itself. Like, because I know the smell of the tea.
in? Trixie,
But
having been present when you have shapeshifted in the past. Oh, hello. You.
I give Trixie a friendly but distracted wag. I am on a mission. I don't have time for chit chat. Excuse me, pardon me.
Oh, you just kind of make your way through her legs, and she kind of like around you.
I'm sorry. What is Trixie again? She's a human or a halfling or
She is a halfling,
okay.
so she's probably about as tall as you.
So I can't really like go between her legs. I just kind of squeeze around her.
No, you just kind of squeeze around her. Yes, like
Gotcha.
she's in one location, you kind of like paw around her feet in the
Yeah,
other direction.
I'm friendly. I'm not like here to cause her any trouble, but I am on a mission. I want the
You
smell
probably
of the
kind of
tea.
like push her out of the way, nudge
No,
her out
I
of
don't
the
even
way.
do that. I just like squish past. I'm like, I know you're trying to do your job. I'm not trying to get in your way. I just want a quick snuffle of the truffles, and then I'll be out of here.
On
you
the nearby table over here on the left, you find the jar, the exact jar that you're looking for.
Okay, I find it. I snuffle real good. Like I get a good big old sniff, not of the tea, except also of the tea because I think it smells real great. I probably even take a little lick here and too, but also of the jar itself because I want the fingerprints. I want the like, human oil stank. I don't know what happens. Also, I just realized I went through that door just fine. What the fuck is going on with my computer?
The door was already open.
Well, yeah, it's always been open. Like I've never had any issues.
Oh yeah, that's fair. I'm not really sure.
That's
on
weird.
that front.
Anyway, so tea.
At first, the smells seem very intertwined with one another, but in your mind's eye, you're able to sort of separate out the smells of these various herbs and leaves and the distinct smell of a human, well, of an elf in this case. It's
That would be the mom, right?
yeah, it's
'Cause
almost like a
Ianfyr's
meaty
an
kind
elf,
of
right?
bloody kind of smell.
Blood? What?
No
What?
blood, but
No,
that's
no
just
blood.
how
Okay.
that's just how you
It's just
smell it.
like, okay.
Yeah.
It's just like a giant burrito holding a giant bag of tea. Got
Like
it.
if you could imagine like the chemical makeup of the human body, like all brought down into distinct scents. Like that's what you're picking
Okay,
up on.
with the jar, what are we talking about? Like, is it a jar that like a wolf could say hypothetically pick up in their mouth, or
Yes, absolutely you could.
I will pick the jar up in my mouth and take
Okay,
it with me.
you grab onto the
I
jar.
take it. I don't care if I'm spilling tea all over the floor. I'm taking it over
You're
to
not.
Anchor.
It's latch shut right now. It's
Yeah,
it's like got the
So
latch
I just
on it
walked
with like
through
the
that door like it was nothing. The other doors I've been like fucking like I don't know. Anyway,
yeah.
I'm
Wow,
gonna
you
take
critted
the jar.
that door. That was
Yeah, I don't
great.
know. That was weird. So I'm gonna take the jar of tea over to Anchor, and in dog/wolf language, I'm gonna be like, the owner of this tea is who we're looking for. We gotta find them. Let's get a good sniff and find them.
Anchor sits blankly for just a few seconds. You are actually pretty
Yeah.
accustomed to running with various.
And I drop it on the.
You're actually pretty accustomed to running with various animals, and you know that this is a pretty typical response of animals who are trying to figure out what you're talking about, or what you're trying to communicate to them. Where they will sit silently and not really process, or just sit there kind of processing it for a few seconds before they take action. Before he kind of reaches his snout forward and begins to take in the scents just as you had previously. But I would like to go ahead and close up there. It is 8:13. So we will pick this up next time from right here. And then let me actually switch the scenes like I'm supposed to. The stream ending scene. That's the one that I do. So I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. It has been a lot of fun. I hope that you all enjoyed the new intro. And yes, we will continue with the story next time and see what happens. Day 6 of Magic City Shopben. Until then, keep a song in your heart.
Bye.
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 Bye.